Yeah, it is.
We're going to tell you things that you do not know. When Rebecca was 3 years old, I was invited to come and be a sitter because Mother was going to a World Health Organization. Quite been on the pregnant side, I think, at the time.
Only 8 months.
Yeah. And what could be it's a snap to be a babysitter. All I had to do was get her dressed for school, which was not easy because Rebecca was very fussy about what she wore. And I think you still are. And, I assumed that they had a bus that was picking her up. So, what is there to be a sitter? Nobody ever told me that they only had a car. And I came to, one day I think, if you ever been to San Francisco and lived in Noe Valley, which I had never been, no one told me they were on the top of a hill. Also, to drive, I was told when I got there that I'd have to drive Barry to the hospital, new position, he has one car. Did not tell me that the car is stick shift, and I have never driven a car that is stick shift. You downhill. Wait a minute, they were up the hill. I didn't know this. Mark is sitting here as a witness. He gave me a 1 hour lesson at a railroad yard. He said, there's nothing to it, fine. And then I called him home. I said to Barry, I've never been, how am I going to get where I'm going? He says, I'm going to give you instructions, but I am not going to write them down. I said, that's the only thing I can look at are instructions. He says, oh no, you have to, academic that he is, you will have to remember the directions to the hospital that's like 20 minutes away. And he's not writing a thing down. Fine. Then I must take Rebecca to the Montessori school, which is a totally different direction.
But flat.
Wait a sec. It was flat to Montessori, but not to go to the hospital. From my one lesson, you people, I had no GSP, I had no navigator. I only had Rebecca in the back seat of the car. Okay.
And she kept telling everybody how to drive.
Oh, yes. So somehow we got Barry to the hospital. I will never know how I got to the hospital, but we got there. Then I turn right and I start going to the Montessori school. Well, somehow in the middle of it all, we started to talk about a new baby. So we started to sing lullaby songs. In the middle of it, she stops. You know what? You do not go that way. You are going the wrong way. 3 years old. I said, listen to me. We're going my way there. Coming home, we'll go your way. Well, coming home, we did go her way, and it was a better way. So to Rob, I am telling you, she knows where she's going. She always knew where she was going, and you can count on her. That's all I can tell you. And the birthday, we're not through yet. We take a little trip to see Rebecca because we have always spent our birthday with her. The trouble is that I wanted to give her a gift that she truly, really wanted. And it turns out to be a strawberry shortcake pram. The only thing, they're in England and we're in Chicago. How's this going to work? Well, Irv says if you really want to go to Liverpool, which is not the most promising place to be in the world, it is certainly not like the Seychelles Islands, I can tell you that. We finally get on a plane with a big, big box, and we bring this, whatever the pram is, and nobody knows how to put it together except Barry. It is so cold in that house that you will never, if you think it's cold in Chicago, Cheryl is sitting there washing clothes with a hand wringer of some kind. Clothes are all over the house. And we were so cold that Cheryl got us like 7 blankets. By the time we left, that 2 nights I think we were there, the bed broke down from all the blankets. But all I can tell you, on our trip with Rebecca, you have to know this, Rob, we took her, you have no idea. We get in the car, I have to tell you, there is no heater in this car. It's a Fiat that must be, I don't know.
The windows closed.
Oh, the windows were closed, yes. Rebecca is always hot, so it's okay. You could leave the windows open. But as nature would have it, Cheryl knows. Rebecca says, I have to go to the loo. She's 2 years old. So Rebecca, we go, I think Cheryl stopped at least 3 times to take Rebecca to the Louvre. Not one of the 3 times was appropriate. Rebecca said it's no good and it's not going to work. And Cheryl is getting red as fire. I didn't know what's going to happen next. Finally, Barry says, we'll take it over. I have to go, I have to go. We get to the John again. She's not going. The 5th time, Barry finally convinced her, as a urologist, something's going to happen if you don't go. So, Rob, you have to take her to a very clean room. And the last story is that when I think when you left, Barry gave a gift to Rebecca. And what is it? It's a giant picture of Cookie Monster, which was a very popular thing with every kid in America except Rebecca. We go to sleep that night. All of a sudden, I hear such screaming and yelling. There's a monster in my room. A monster in my room. Barry is very patient. He's telling her it's nothing. Do not show your new baby when it comes the Cookie Monster, because the monster left that house that day, and it was in your office for I don't know how many years.
Still there.
And it's still in the office. And many children in America have seen it, because many have seen Barry, but not Rebecca. Do not start with that. With that, I can tell you, no one could have a more beautiful granddaughter than we have.
Yes.
And to you both, I just hope and pray that you have the good years to have as much pleasure out of grandchildren as we do. All the best.